Hello YouTube, this is Adaptec Computers, your host Charlie. Today I finally got the Lenovo Workstation upgrade working, finally, after the failed attempt twice. And I found out what the failed part was. And sadly, it's my Asus 16X to 4 PCIe Express M.2 slot card. Apparently, yeah, Lenovo doesn't like this card, so it's okay. I tried it 3 different times. Each time I had to reseat every piece of hardware in the Lenovo to get it to boot back up again. So, unfortunately, I won't be adding another 4 terabytes of M.2 storage. I just have to deal with what I have already, which is just the 2 M.2 drives and the 2.5-inch drives, and call it a day. I can still have 2 more SSD drives and 2 more hard drives, or 4 SSD drives or 4 hard drives. It doesn't really matter, whichever comes first. The hard drives in this thing is 2 3 terabyte drives. They're enterprise based, but they're kind of old, so they are a little bit loud compared to your standard drive, which is okay. I'm not too upset about it. I'll pop the side panel off to give you guys a view of the inside. The fan is a little loud because I do have a, if I'm a shooter, a PCI Express, or PCIe blower slot card, or fan, sorry. Because apparently, since this is this card here, the 290X, blows air everywhere, the system is really hot when I am playing a game or doing anything else. So I picked up that $13 fan. I think that's how much it cost me. Sorry, $8 fan. So, if you guys are curious, this is what it is. It's just taping the shroud because it is loose and there's not really a way of tightening the clips. So, little tape takes care of that easily. In the back you see the 4K capture card, and then my 2 M.2 drives over here, and back in the back is the 2 30 terabyte drives and the 2 1 terabyte drives, and down there the flashing light, which is way down here, is my 1 gig RAID card. So yeah, I first ran everything. I was getting speed, bus rate speeds up to 1.4 terabytes of, not terabytes, sorry, gigabytes of transfer rate. But now I think since everything's settled, mellowed out more, I'm getting a consistent 350 to 600 megs a second transfer rate, which I'll show you guys here in a minute. But if you guys show the inside of the case, so you guys see a better idea. I'll leave the specs of the system in the description below. But yeah, I'm actually satisfied that everything works again. It took me a lot of troubleshooting to figure out what the heck the problem was, because unfortunately Lenovo code reading is very difficult. I didn't pick me up traded a GameCube for a Lenovo laptop to try to use the Lenovo diagnostic key to know a step but fail. So I put a Hail Mary and took every single component out and reseated everything back to the proper stance. And we went out and bought a $30 650 watt power supply, thinking that might be the problem. So if everything took me about a week to figure out what the problem was, and then I tried to install the Asus card one more time. To no avail, it failed. And that's when I discovered that it had to be that. As you hear the hard drive ticking away, that's basically what it sounds like. With the 1 gig RAID card, even on a standard hard drive, GTA 5 loads pretty quickly with a big buffer to it. So that's actually pretty cool. I'll show you guys that too doing this video. So I'll pop the side panel back on so the blow thing can do its job. This case properly seated. There we go. Alright. My SAS cable was in the way. There we go. I hate side panels on workstations. Some are easy, some are pain in the ass. But before I do, I'd like to show you guys the transfer speed by copying my Pokemon Sealed video, which is 16 gigs. And this is on my M.2 slot drive. I'm going to copy this to my SATA drive. So that's basically consistent. I'm getting between hard drive and SSD drive being to the RAID card. And that's way faster than what I'm experiencing with my basic computer, which is I'm using this to capture everything through. So I am pretty astounded. I have yet to really figure out how to reenact the 1.5 gig transfers I got the very first time around. I guess it's because they were still fresh. There was nothing on the drives at all. I assume that's the reason why, but I honestly don't have a clue. So if anybody knows, leave in the comments below what that could be or where it came from. That'd be awesome and very appreciative. But it's going down to 150, which is still not bad. My network speed to this system is like 89 a second versus my main computer, which is 100. So I can't really enable jumbo frames on the computer I have downstairs in the basement. That's my file server, because it doesn't actually have that feature. So that's hard drive from SSD to hard drive. So now I'm gonna do SSD to SSD. You guys an idea. So here we go. 16 gig file. Now granted, this is from both SSDs and hard drives on the RAID card. I did not create a RAID array at all. This is just standalone drives. I figured it would be better that way. I was thinking about doing a RAID for 4K capture, but with this kind of speeds, I'm not really too worried about it, per se, because this is a steady thing between SSD and hard drive. Not hard drive, but SSD to SSD. Now I do increase the speed just a little bit when I copy to my M.2 drive, but that's to be expected. But I'm pretty much hitting the limit of SATA, from my understanding from reading everything. So, but yeah, this is the other one. So I didn't see how I copy this one. Now I'm gonna copy to the main, to my operating drive, which is M.2. Now with the Lenovo Workstation, it does have a dual M.2 8X slot, from my understanding of the manual, which you all flex adapter. And pretty much what it is this extra slot dedicated to M.2 storage. You can use it for whatever you want to use it for. So yeah. So you only get about 20 megs faster. So it's not too much of a difference, so to speak. But regardless, I'm pretty satisfied. Now I'll do one more transfer rate, and this is to the other M.2 slot without the OS on it. As you can see, it's not much different. Give or take maybe a meg. between the SSD and the M.2 slot drive. Now, copying this directly between the two is pretty much the exact same frame rate. It's not much different. And I'll show you guys one more transfer rate between this and my other hard drive, just so you guys can see if there's a difference in speed or not, but not really much. As you can tell, my games take up a lot of space. Sorry. So this is to my drive for games. And I have roughly about just shy of almost 2 terabytes of games installed. Now, to be fair, this is a first for me that it's actually dropped down to 60, or under 60 megs a second, because usually it's way faster than this. So I'm actually kind of surprised. I'm kind of curious if it picks up in speed or not, but I have my doubts now considering how fast it was running before. I was testing all this stuff out before the video. As everything goes, when you try to record something that happened the first time, you rarely ever get the same thing. But, come to think of it, this might be the reason why. Well, I'm going to cancel that one because I'm not worried about it now. But as for an update wise, if I can find one on here that I can do for you guys. There, I'll do 10 forces too. That should be able to. So as my network speed for download, it's not that bad either. It really depends on the back end of the server. But when I install like big games, it took me. I was in between anywhere from 50 up to 80, which is higher than I ever got on my main desktop. So I mean, the network card in this versus the one I have on my gaming PC is not really is different for network speeds, but for transfer speeds between the network, my desktop's faster than my workstation, which is hilariously funny if you think about it. But and for temp wise, it's not that bad at the moment. Like both CPUs run between 30 35, GPU 38. I can't really show you the hard drives because most of them run off the M.2 slot, and that's basically where the unknowns come from. Because Becky doesn't have that option for that. Either there's a hologram monitor, doesn't really have anything projected for that either. So, sadly. So now, oops. Let me go back here. Now I'm going to take a random file, so from here, I'll show you the network's transfer speed between the PC downstairs and this. And it's pretty much a solid 80-ish. I don't quite get why the NIC in this system is slower than the NIC in my Ryzen system. Maybe, I'm assuming that Rotec is faster than Intel, I guess. Because in my desktop I'm using to capture this stuff on right now is a Rotec Ethernet adapter versus the dual Intel adapters in this one. But I'm pretty sure I'd probably hit the wall for gigabit Ethernet if I was able to include jumbo frames on this one versus the one downstairs. But I think it's not that bad considering. I mean, for almost a little 7 gig file, it takes about maybe a minute to a minute and a half, and you have it. So I'm pretty astounded. like I said, temperatures don't really fluctuate too much with the CPUs. They do when you run like GTA 5 or Blender, not Blender, but Cinebench. So since I don't need that, and playback on the settings actually pretty well. It plays 4K, but the monitors I'm recording this stuff on at the moment is on 1080p. I do have my 4K monitors on order through Walmart. I have one already downstairs, pre-set up. I am waiting for my second one, so I can start actually showing the full capabilities of the 4K capture card and a future follow-up video. But for now, I'm not running the Cinebench, so you guys see how good the processors are. They're not too bad. You know, they only turbo up to 2.5 on all cores. I have a little task matcher you can see for yourself here. That's basically as fast as they can go. Of course, all cores. I haven't tried single thread yet, or single core yet, but I'm honestly not too worried about it. And CPU temperatures jump to staggeringly like under 50°C. They only get above 50°C is when I'm running like GTA 5 or some type of game. And what's really cool, I can run this and I can run Formwork at the exact same time, which is really cool. But the blower fan helps a lot though. I mean, that thing, it might be a little annoying, but it does a wonderful job for $8. Since trying to find a replacement fan for this case to increase their cooling capacity is difficult, but there you have it. This actually ran faster than the previous time. So my first run, which is right here, was 4,083 points when I first ran this, and the second time I ran this, I got 4,579 points. So I mean, that's not bad. That's basically the first test was just about roughly 630 points above a 1700X Ryzen CPU, and my second run was about 2,100 points below a Threadripper 1950X. I mean, hey, that's not too bad. That's for 16 core 32 thread. So each processor, 8 core 16 thread. I mean, that's not too bad at all. Basically at 2.5 gigahertz. I'm sure if the gigahertz clock was higher, it would done a hell of a better job. But it does beat out my old 6700, since it beat the 7700K. So I mean, I'm pretty happy. Eventually I will upgrade the CPUs later on. I'm not in a big rush now since it's actually performing a lot better than what it did. As in firmware, I'm not expecting too much, considering it is a very old video card in this thing. So this is a simple firmware test. Get a general idea. This is maxed out settings, so I'm only getting about 21 frames a second maxed out for 1080p for Formwork, which honestly is not that bad for an old GPU. I mean, if I turn eye candy off, I actually can hit 80. But like I said, it's an old 290X 8 gig video card from MSI. I had this card for roughly, say, almost 7-8 years. I think that's when I had it. I'll tell you in a second here. Make sure we got this right. Yeah. So yeah, I was right. About 7 years I had this card. Because I came out in 2013. I'm excited about the new Radeon GPUs though when they do come out. Hopefully they don't have the same problem as Nvidia did with their GPU shortages, because that would suck ass. But with maxed out it's 1215, so it's not too bad. games actually run really well at ultra maxed out settings, so that's really astounding. And I could use it as a little tool of GTA 5 and Tomb Raider demo when I figure out what my Steam icon is. So let's look at Tomb Raider first. Now I'll show you how GTA 5 next. Sorry. If I hit this line, my all-in-one keyboard and mouse combo, it does that screen, and it's really annoying. So, give it a minute to load, because this is the first time you run Shadow Tomb Raider on this system, so it might be just a little bit. Okay, so it's running, so knock on wood anyways. There we go. And I'll do two tests on the benchmark. I'll do one benchmark at normal settings, or say not normal, default settings, and then I'll do another benchmark based on maxed out settings. Get my handy dandy Xbox One controller. Usually I don't play like Tomb Raider with a controller, but before using a keyboard and mouse. But I can't really play on this all-in-one keyboard and mouse touchpad. It does not work that well at all. Let's go to options. How to use the demo. Here we go. Yeah, let's run the demo on basic on default settings and see how it goes. I'm kind of sad to see it too, because this is the first time I ever ran this benchmark on this system. Because at the moment all I've been playing is GTA 5 on the system periodically. So yeah. Don't know if you can guys pick up the sound, but the hard drive is ticking away. Right, for future reference though, anybody who had the same Lenovo issue I did with no display but error code and can't figure it out, I suggest taking everything out of it and reseating everything, and that fixes it. So here we go, basic settings, we're getting between, I'm gonna say 48 to 65. Hey! Cuidado, niños! You see a low chair in the background, but it's still very playable. Especially given the thing that's a 7-year-old GPU running. So, my prediction if I just had max out the settings, I assume try to drop it to 20. You can see it stuttering a little bit in the background too. The monitor I'm watching this on is a ASUS game monitor. The 75 Hz FreeSync monitor. It actually works with the video card I have. The capture card I'm using is the HD V2, I think the model was, from Heta. I'm going to say that so I'll link down in the description below to what I'm using for capture card wise. It's based on USB, so I mean, I don't know that's causing a delay in feedback, but just throwing that out there. Hey, we managed to hit 100 on one little frame. Yay! That's a nice view though. Still a lot of stuttering though. I'm pretty sure if I ran this with my 1080 Ti, if I could fit my 1080 Ti in this case, I would, but I can't because it's too big. Well, that is a plus though. At least the 1080 cards and the 1080 cards are really cheap. Especially and the Radeon 6, Radeon 7 card is cheap too. So that's really cool. Pretty sure the new AMD cards probably drop a lot more. So I'm waiting for I'm the fool that doesn't buy brand new stuff and freak them out. They just wait for a while. Try getting bugs and the price drops for sale. Probably bother doing it. Because if you only get like a 10% gain, 20% or in that ballpark, I don't think spending the extra money is worth it. That's just my preference. So, let's turn this up just a little bit more. Let's turn on VSync. We'll turn that on. Yes. Everything. Let's do 2x. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go out. Screw it. Yep. Yeah, highest. Just for the helmet. Probably not the best idea, but whatever. So the first score we got was average 64 frames. So let's see what happens if everything maxes out. Let's see how fun this is gonna look. I still think we might be able to hit 20. Knock on wood. But I'm pretty sure we can hit 20. Fire mark, it doesn't do that bad either. Ish. Depends which file mark version I run. Now granted, this is PCIe Express 3.0. Yeah. Actually did a little better than I thought it would be. It's at 20. It's jamming in the 30s.
Hey! Cuidado, niños!
Still the center went away too, I enabled VSync. That's cool. It's still playable. I mean, I'm pretty sure if you had more people, you know, fly in there, it might really drop it. But I know this iChannel looks amazing though. See how much he's pumped out there. Not too bad. Not as hot as running Grand Theft Auto 5 though. See how hot the CPU is again. About the same, but the GPU is not as hot as it usually is for GTA 5. Then we can see the beautiful video of the mountains. You see a very little bit of tear in the background by the steps. And now you're starting to see a little bit of lag and stuttering. Now the fans are really ramping up now. Like you said, you can't game on Xeon processors. Haha. 40 lanes, the outside and you subtract certain things like the flex card is 8, and then the 8x grade card works capture card, and then whichever left is from the CPU or chipset. Yeah. Oh yeah, and the USB 3.0 hubs are running off of PCI Express as well. Try to forget that. So that's not too bad. So we got 32 frames average. So I'll take that. So, but yeah. And I'll do one more test for you guys. We'll love GTA 5. It won't take really that long to load. On my main desktop, it takes about 2.5 minutes ish. Sometimes to fully load completely. Versus this system, it takes about less than a minute. Huh, they have an update. Who knew? So bear with me folks for just a moment while this update's doing its thing. While waiting. So basically that's where the CPUs are at when in game. I think the second CPU maxed out at about 61. Which isn't bad at all, honestly speaking. And GPU maxed out about 75 to 81 as Celsius, which honestly is not that bad either, because I think the target mark for that being overheated is about, usually that is 90 or 95. So I mean, I'm a little bit under that. Now the GPU has no overclock set on it at all. It's just standard base clock set by MSI. As the game edition cards, I assume it is pushed a little higher than your basic reference card. So I mean, it is what it is. I may like it because it's this has very high bandwidth. Over 300. I think it's like. I think it's 384 if I'm not mistaken. Gigs a second for the 290X. 390X is the same anyways. The only difference between those two cards is just I think 10% increase in terms of processing. So it's not really much difference between the two. You get that both cards are under 120, 130. So it's not too bad. You don't mind using the outdated cards. Like here now, you can get a 1080 Ti for like 300 on eBay. That is, give or take the brand of card. That is. There's some still can reach about 400 depending on what card it is. And the 2080 basic is running for about the same price as a 1080 Ti now. 2080 Ti, I think the last time I checked that, I think dropped from 1200 all the way down to between 6 to 850, depending on the make and model. As for, well, no, but the 3000 series being off the ass high expensive scalper bullshit, so I'm not gonna worry about trying to get one of those. Because they'll have stock back in place eventually, maybe. And hopefully AMD doesn't run the same issue. So, they're just gonna tough out of 5. Now, I'll show you guys the settings here. Not gonna apply them. So here's the graphics settings. I'm using half of my video card status. I can't increase it any higher than what I did already. So run down the list here. I'm not worried about motion blur. So I'm not gonna worry about taking my car because whatever. Because we got GT coming right up the street. Oh, we had a GT. Fine, we'll get the other DC. Let's be like that. Aha! Give me your car! I want your car. I want this car.
Holy! Oh my god!
Excuse me!
Oh! Please don't hurt me!
What, you don't see me driving?
It's not too bad. You can think about it. I should go a lot better than this. I don't care. Turn the radio off. That way, there's no copyright issues. That person died.
Shit.
Now for some cheats. Let's get some explosives so you guys can see explosion. Yeah, you can call me a cheater. That's cool. But for the sake of this video, I'm gonna add weapons to my thing. So let's go out this traffic.
I'm gonna be using your car. Oh shit!
Now we got a nice little walkway. I'm gonna walk away so I won't die. Yeah, let's have some fun.
Messed up.
That bus is everything exploded, isn't it? Yep. So there you have it. That bus is die next. Yeah, let's go rocket launcher. So that's basically how my workstation is performing at the moment. And I'll show you guys like rendering footage when I get to that point. So close this out real quick. So here's the temps for the cooldown. So now my video card is cooling down a lot faster with that blower fan in the back. So otherwise it's just be slowly decreasing instead of rapidly decreasing. So yeah, nice little heater too if you think about it. So in a future video I'll probably run 3D Mark for you guys for PC Mark and Fire Mark. But I'll say that for a future video because I won't take up too much of your time. So thanks for watching. Like, subscribe. Does this channel awesomely. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.